Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. I'm Christy Boyd Johnson, and I am very pleased to introduce you to our lovely guest today, Sandy Duarte.
Thank you.
She is an award-winning actress who recently added stage 4 cancer survivor to her remarkable life journey. In addition to her work in the creative arts, Sandy is passionate about the healing arts through various modalities such as yoga, breathwork, meditation, and sound bathing to promote wellness and resilience. By blending her talents in film and literature with her commitment to the healing arts, Sandy empowers individuals to find strength and community in their struggles, to find purpose through pain, demonstrating how overcoming mental barriers can lead to powerful results in physical healing. Welcome, Sandy.
Thank you. I was so excited. I wanted to just jump in. Thank you, Christy. I'm like, forget the bio.
we like to introduce our guests to our audience, but yeah, I'm ready to jump in too.
Thank you for
Uh,
that.
you have quite an amazing journey story.
hmm
Would you share with us how you got to learning how to find purpose through pain?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Do we have enough time? My gosh, it's being shocked that you're told you have cancer and then making a choice. So we're talking backstage and chatting about how the heck did I know I got cancer? Well, I thought I had a bad cold. I thought I had pneumonia, bronchitis, whatever it was, and I had a cough, and I just didn't, take it serious. I thought it was one of those things. Got antibiotics, nothing worked. A month or two or so, whatever passes, and I finally decided to speak to my doctor and say, let's see what's up with my lungs. Let's get an MRI or something. Like, what's going on? I was declining really badly, like to the
Mm.
point where I couldn't even walk up a hill. I was like, there's something wrong with my lungs. I'm convinced. The MRI comes back, and my doctor calls me with that voice that you hear in the movies. It's only bad news when you hear that voice. And she goes, forget the lung. There's a big mass that's showing on the thing. They want to see you again. I'm like, okay. I go back to do another MRI. I'm like, let's do this. And again, the doctor calls me and says, this is beyond me. You got to go to the hospital immediately. I'm like,
Ooh.
okay, this is crazy. So I basically rush, not super rush, but I get over to the hospital the next day because I'm still not taking this serious. What's going on, right? And I never left. That was March of this year. I was in 2 weeks of a blitz of basically every kind of biopsy and thing to find out what it was until we figured out what it was, what cancer. And then I ended up starting my chemo treatments. That's it in a nutshell there. And I was shocked. I got cancer. There's never a
Oh
way to digest that.
no, there isn't. There's
Yeah,
just no way to digest. It's like what?
yeah. I literally like when my oncologist, one of them came in and said that I literally dropped the F word. I'm like, what the F, and I
Yeah,
took a moment to be like, what, like this, what? And
yeah.
and then you have to somehow transcend that why, and just move on and say, why not? Now let's
Well,
figure out what the journey is going to be and what's the choice.
let's go down just a little bit here.
hmm
So you chose, and I'm a big believer in people knowing their options and choosing what's right for them.
hmm
And so you chose chemo.
hmm
What made you decide to choose chemo, and how did that work for you?
and listen, I want to say off the bat, every cancer story and journey is very unique, very different. There's never one that's quite the same. And so I respect people, like we were chatting about your incredible journey, that make their own choices. I was at a stage where I almost had no choice. I had a huge
Mm.
mass. It was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I had a 10 by 15 mass across my left side chest that fortunately took out my left lung. It squashed my lung. I had one lung. And so it was so rapid, there was no choice. And I think we were chatting about this. I kind of got the cancer lottery in a way, because my cancer didn't require surgery. It was really in my chest. It would have been really morbid, my doctor said. But my cancer lymphoma responds very well to chemo, like a moth to a flame. And so the science and the stats and everything given to me, I said, let's do it. I was ready for anything. Let's go. I'm ready to move along. And so I chose that because it was, maybe it chose me. It was the best option for me. There was no other way with this rapid moving thing that was making me, I was already deteriorating. And so chemo was
Yeah.
the way for me.
Yes. And I mean, if you couldn't even walk up a hill, if you
No,
couldn't breathe, that's pretty serious.
it was bad. It
Yeah.
was really bad, Christy. It was
Yeah.
it was insanely bad. I look at myself now and I get emotional when I come up my hill. I can't even say it without getting emotional. I get emotional that I get to walk and climb and stuff,
Yeah.
because, I had to deal with my cancer, right? But then I had to deal with the fact that I was told I could live with one lung, and I didn't accept that in my mind. I'm like, I'm not going to live with one lung. And that's a whole other story that, I mean, I'll follow your lead, that I'm happy to share as well.
Oh, well, actually, I'd like to know. That's another choice, that pushing you towards something that you didn't want is
Mhm.
not okay. Like, you didn't want to have a lung removal, So were you, obviously you successfully stood up to them, but did they make it hard on you, or was it pretty easy for you to say
No,
no?
the situation that the doctors were dealing with was how to get all the liquid out of my body, because the lung was collapsed, and also dealing with the cancer. So, I really, I believed that somehow the lung, it was showing up black on the scans. And then I had one remarkable night where it was like, after 2 weeks of every procedure you can imagine, they stripped me from all the stuff, and I was able to take a shower, and I felt so incredible. I stayed in the shower for so long. And I said, this is going to be my moment where I talk to my body, and I tried to encourage my body. I just had an emotional, esoteric, spiritual, private moment, finally water beating down on me. And I sat in the shower for a good hour, and I talked to my body. I really believe you can encourage your body through the power of your mind to do things, and I'm not hippy dippy about it, because I also believe in science and believe I had needed my chemo. I believe that things can coexist with wisdom if you're wise. So I sat there and I talked to my right lung, and I said to my right lung, I said, your sister's gone. Like, she's gone, man. I write about this in my book. I said, we got to help her out. Let's help your sister, meaning the left side friend here. I said, we need to help. I'm here to guide you, support you. I talked like this, like a friend. And nurses kept coming in going, she's still in the shower, like I'm just in there. Long story short, about 20 minutes into my shower, Christy, I kid you not, I felt life come out of my left nostril. And as soon as I felt the rubbish, the stuff come out of I said, there's life in my left lung. It made me so emotional. I came out and I told my nurse, I said, my left lung is going to be okay. I talked to my lung. And long story short, with the help of the doctors and getting the liquid and everything else, the point is, my lung is back. I have 2 lungs.
Woohoo!
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Christy, I didn't make any of this stuff up. It's not like I'm here to, this is a new idea. I mean, the Dr. Dispenzas of the world and all these great minds are so studied in this beautiful esoteric nature of communicating to your body in a different way. They go listen to them. They know how to digest deeply into this. I'm giving you my simpleton form of my experience and how you can connect to your body, talk to your body. You got this. I love you. I'm here to help you. And the lung figured it out. I'm telling you, I'm here.
I absolutely agree. I think I talk to my animals. I'm a big advocate for kids, and I'm like, you communicate with kids. They get it.
Yeah.
You can't, they, and etc. And your body too. I've heard it said, and I really like this, that we are not physical bodies with a soul inside. We are a soul with a physical body. And when you shift into that mentality, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I'm way more than I seem to be, appear to be, and then it opens up these doors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that powerful choice you made, powerful choices are really a wonderful key to, I mean, because you must have just been scared
Oh,
and
yeah.
sad and, worried and not knowing what you're going to be facing.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to, from when you found this out and ended up in a hospital that you didn't
Oh my
leave?
gosh. Well, I call it a 2 week blitz. I went in March. I believe it was March 22 of this year,
Mhm.
and I stayed for I was 2 weeks of every procedure you can imagine with your eyes open, like a biopsy where this long thing goes right into your chest, and they were pulling out specimens. I mean, my team was amazing.
Mhm.
It was a 2 week blitz, and then immediately it was chemo, and I finished my chemo July of this year. 6 long rounds. Yeah.
So March, April, May, June, July, 4 months.
Hmm.
Is that 4, 5, somewhere
Yeah.
between 4 and 5 months, and you
Yeah.
cured it. You cured it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And not by myself. I really, how do I say this? It takes a lot of prayer, meditation, a lot of good faith, a visiting, having a ritual of visiting. Where's that sacred place that you can tap into and pray and just believe? Yeah. And also
Mhm.
I had a great team. My hospital was never closed-minded to all the things I brought up. They brought the science, and I would give them prescriptions like, doctor, you need to take this turkey tail, this is good for your life. They were always open and receptive to what I did on my downtime. So when you can find that in this Western society, you found gold. I was at All of You Medical, a lot of UCLA fine minds up there, and I'm in California, and some of the finest minds, and I'm grateful because never did they look at me like I was a crazy person. I was always like, okay, do this, do that, take those supplements, do that in between. It was a beautiful marriage. I'm really, really lucky. But you have
Mhm.
to believe. You have to believe. You have to come out of the dark, and it takes a lot of work. And you just have to lean on love and faith. Just will it. It did not listen, and I'm not here to give you toxic positivity. There's real death and suffering and cancer. There's people
Mhm.
with my cancer that didn't make it. I know
Mhm.
that. I know that from my personal life, people around me. But how do we choose to make that journey, right? How do we
Mhm.
support the journey? And we can support it with our mind, whether the outcome is closed door or an open door. How are you going to arrive there? That makes
Yeah.
things a little bit better. Yeah.
I and besides your team, I'm assuming you had a strong support system in place.
Yeah, I did.
Friends, family. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful family, friends, and faith. I'd always go to my favorite spot to meditate. The Self Realization Fellowship near me, and beautiful place of just being in meditation gardens and being around great vibrations and just be in nature. It's all the
Mhm.
things. Believe, just
Mm.
yeah, you find your way. Yeah,
Yes.
it's
Have
scary.
Okay, how do we do this now? We stop it. We stop it. We stop it. We stop it. We stop it.